Hi, 7th grade. Today we're going to start learning about vital signs, and the vital sign we're going to start with is temperature. This will take us 2 days to complete this. It will be broken up into two different sections. So today we will just talk about what you are going to do during class today, and making sure you have that done for class tomorrow. So the first thing that I'd like you to do is go ahead and open up this document in Google Classroom and make a copy of it so you have your own. I will read through the introduction with you, making sure that you have some important information highlighted. Then I will go through the directions with you, hopefully answering any questions that you have. So go ahead and grab this, pause the video, and then you can come back to it once you have it opened up. So the introduction. Vital signs are measurements of the body's most basic functions and are useful in detecting or monitoring medical problems. The four main vital signs include body temperature, pulse rate, respiration rate, and blood pressure. You probably have your vital signs measured when you visit the doctor or other medical professional. The values of your vital signs act as clues that can be used to diagnose an illness or disease. So what I need you to highlight are the vital signs, the four vital signs. Today we're starting with temperature, and then we will learn about pulse rate and blood pressure, and then finally respiration rate. Okay, moving on. Normal body temperature for a healthy adult can range from 97.8 Fahrenheit to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. This is equivalent to 36.5 degrees Celsius to 37.2 degrees Celsius. A body temperature below 95 degrees signals hypothermia, whereas hyperthermia or fever is a body temperature that is above 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit measured orally. Body temperature may change throughout the day and is usually highest in the evening. Other factors such as exercise, strong emotion, eating, heavy clothing, and high humidity can also increase body temperature. Okay, so lots of things to highlight in this. You need to highlight what the range is. You need to know that hypothermia is below 95 degrees, so that's hypo, H-Y-P-O. Hyperthermia, H-Y-P-E-R, is a fever and is above 99.5 degrees. Okay. And then you'll need to know some different reasons why body temperature varies. So you'll need to know that it's highest in the evening, and then as well as the other factors. So exercise, strong emotion, eating, heavy clothing, high humidity. Fever is the result of the body fighting an infection. Most bacteria and viruses that cause infection in humans will not survive in an environment warmer than 99. Therefore, a fever is the body's way of attacking bacteria or virus that has infected an individual and signals that the infection may be present. The severity of the illness is not directly related to the degree of the fever. For example, a child experiencing a high fever with a common cold and little or no fever with pneumonia, which is a much more serious illness. Okay, for this, you need to highlight these first two sentences. Fever is the result of your body fighting an infection, and most bacteria and viruses cannot live in an environment above 99. Okay? Moving on, in this activity, you will measure your temperature and compare it with some of your classmates. You will need to find some materials for this activity. Okay? You will need a thermometer. Okay? My guess is that most of your parents have a thermometer that they use to check your temperature when you're sick. So ask them if you have one. If you don't have a thermometer for some reason, see if you have a meat thermometer, something that you use when you're cooking different meats. Okay? If you do not have either one of those, you need to email me right now so I can give you an alternate assignment. Okay? Either way, regardless of which one you're using, a regular thermometer or a meat thermometer, you're going to want to wash it first just to get off any germs or anything that may be on there. So wash it with soap and then dry it. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your temperature in 3 different places on your body. The first one is under your tongue. The second one is under your armpit. And the third one is in your hand, just holding it. So your hand will be in a fist and the thermometer will be in there. Be sure the thermometer is snug when you're measuring your temperature. So if it's under your arm, make sure that it's tight against both your your arm as well as your chest. And then when it is under your tongue, make sure your tongue is pressing down on it to hold it in place. If you're using a regular thermometer and it's digital, chances are it will beep when it's done. If you're using a meat thermometer, you might just have to watch the temperature, and then when it stops moving, that is the temperature. You're going to fill out the data table below. So you'll write your name, you'll write what your temperature is in your mouth, your underarm, and then your hand. Okay, and don't be surprised if they're all very different. Then I need you to connect with 4 people in your grade. Doesn't need to be your class. So if you're in 7L, you can reach out to people in 7G or 7O, but it needs to be 4 different classmates. You can do this via email, over the phone, Google Meets, whatever you want, but you're just asking them for their results. So if somebody emails you and asks for your results, please send them back, even if you have chosen 4 other classmates to work with. When you are done collecting the results, you need to find the average. So you'll add up all of these, okay, divide it by 5, and that's your average. Same with underarm, same with hand. Then you're going to answer these following questions based on the information in this chart. First question is, how did the temperatures of your classmates compare? So how were they different? Were they all similar in the mouth category? Were they all similar in the underarm? Were they all similar in the hand? You'll say yes or no, and then why do you think that is? If you don't know why that is, maybe come back up here and look at some things you highlighted to help you. Who had the hottest temperature? And then make sure you say which category it was in. Which category had the hottest average? So you're looking at these numbers, and why do you think that is? What do you think accounts for the differences between your classmates? My guess is that you will be maybe similar in the categories with your classmates, but probably not exactly on in all 3. So why do you think your temperatures are different? And then this last question is just specific to your measurements. How close were you to 98.6, 37 degrees Celsius in all 3 categories? That's average. Why weren't all 3 categories measured at 98.6? So you probably don't have 98.6 in all 3. In fact, if you do, you did something incorrect. So maybe remeasure, because at least one of these will not be very close to 98.6. And so this question is just asking why these all aren't the average of 98.6. So what are some differences? Okay. For today, you do not need to turn anything in. You will turn this whole document in at some point, but you just need to make sure that you have filled out this chart and answered these questions for tomorrow. If you have other questions or are having trouble connecting with 4 classmates, please feel free to reach out to me. This needs to be completed by 8 a.m. tomorrow so you can move on with the next part.